I'm going to address the Faze clan stuff right there. So, the concern with the Faze clan stuff is, I feel like there's no critical thinking skills because the stuff that I've one of mine, and I watched the whole thing. Faze Banks have been saying, the N word past type of N word, but in a way where he was angry. Now I'm gonna get to that later on with Plaque Boy Max and stuff like that. But all the Faze members left. That's the beginning of the story. All the Faze members have left, Faze completely. Which, but it's like most people that content creators like this, they don't really think about the future or anything that's going to happen later on or something that comes out. It just seems that way with any content house in general. Okay. First of all, the biggest complaint is they're paying a whole lot for, I think it's a small duplex or small house or whatever it was, like 2 bands for that. And then, again, don't quote me on my math. I'm not that great at math. Don't quote me on the math. I think 1 band to keep the name Faze attached to their social media. I guess it makes sense because if you have Faze attached to your social media handle, you're instantly going to get a lot of views. You're instantly going to get a lot of traction on your social media, and your numbers and your accolades and everything will go up as well. And but the thing that happened when all the Faze members left, besides the little beef that Plaque Boy Max has with Faze Banks, the only thing I do got to complain that there is no critical thinking skills to be had. Now, again, I am a mixed race person. I will come at this as a mixed race person. You can only get an N pass from black friends or family members, only in that group. It does not give you a right to say it outside, even and especially in anger. It does not give you the right to say it to other people. It stays within the friend group or family. But it's the way he said all that stuff. And there's also, it's possible that there's worse stuff that Faze Banks has said behind Plaque Boy Max's back and all that stuff. And it's like, this is why I'm saying that there's no critical thinking skills. Because when making a content house or content anything, it's always been a mess. It's been that mess since what's that name? The Sky House. Since even the Sky House. What certain Smash players doing what they do normally on Discord. Or any other content house, they don't ever think about that those will have some legal stuff because you have real people living in the house that have real stuff going on. So the critical thinking skills would be thinking anything I say and do right now could be used against me later on, even 5 years down the line. Because let's just say I got into win the lottery. I bought this house. I bought another house and live in another house. But I turned this house into a content house. Maybe a fighting game house. Or I move in either people with color in or women in. Even though I'm mixed, I'm going to be very careful. I'm going to be cognizant so I don't lose my career prospects or have any legal lawsuits coming. Because I think there's going to be some lawsuits that's coming against Faze Banks. Not to mention he's gotten in trouble with some stuff like this before. Even years before. It's just one of those type of things that there's clearly no critical thinking skills. So, what I'm saying is and there could have been worse stuff. I don't know. I wasn't there. I will say allegedly on that. But I'm sure there probably was. I'm probably sure there's some stuff that's not reported from all these Faze creators that went on. It might even get worse. Who knows? Give it 2 weeks, they might find something else. But you know, right now, and two and three, it's gonna be the end of era. There's not gonna be no more Faze members. There's not gonna be no Faze anything members. I think now the content style has died out now, and all the regular Faze members are now established people with tons and tons of views, and you can watch their channels and stuff like that. But I'm just saying, in general, like, you know, and it doesn't matter the context of how you say things. If it's something that can be used against you, like slurs, like you crash out, and don't get me wrong, everybody crashes out. Everybody has a crash out phase where they crash out. There's times where you threaten to do something to somebody, or you say some pretty messed up stuff, or you throw out slurs. But you do got to remember, when we're in a content house, it's almost as close as running a group home. There are HIPAA laws, and you got to be very careful, because if there's one or two complaints, that could shut down your whole operation altogether. And that, it didn't at that time, but look how many stuff has been coming out with the Plaque Boy Max and Faze Banks. And it's like this: Faze Banks have gotten in trouble before. I can't remember the controversy he was in before, but it was enough to actually take notice of what was going on. And that's the thing. That's the thing that that gets missed out on is that stuff. There is no ever an excuse to say the N word. Now, if you're using the N password, it's got to be with people you're close to in that friend group, not on social media, not in real life, not at work. No matter whatever the context is. So that's my whole thing on the Faze Bank situation.